We've been testing top best budget gaming laptops 2024, digging deep into the latest flavors of AMD processor and NVIDIA graphics silicon. And we know which notebooks sing and which are just tone deaf. We're not just talking about sleek, expensive new machines either. We've picked a range of top best budget gaming laptops 2024 at different price points to highlight, which give you the best bang for buck and which are just outright awesome. To help you find the right model, we've listed top best budget gaming laptops 2024 and their key features, plus the things you need to consider to help you choose the best one for you. And as always, you can check pricing for any of these products in the description below. Like the video, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Now let's get started. Number 5. Asus TUF F15 2024. It's getting harder than ever to recommend a good gaming laptop, not because your options are limited, but because there's so much competition in this category lately. At the same time, the vast majority of people who are ready to invest in mobile gaming gear are looking to stretch their buck as far as possible with a machine that provides a superb gaming setup and workhorse functionality. So what does the Asus TUF F15 have to offer? Its latest edition leans more towards the mid-range of gaming with its hardware, but underneath the slick steel lid, there's a competent machine that can provide a rock-solid gaming experience if you keep your expectations in check. Throw in capable content creation functionality and you've got yourself an attractive Swiss Army knife that you can throw into your backpack. In terms of this review unit provided by Asus, the TUF F15 is packing a 12th Gen Intel Core i7, a mobile GeForce RTX 3050, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and a 1080 panel clock at 60 Hz. Externally, you've got plenty of ports to take advantage of, including a Thunderbolt 4 port, USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type-C, two more USB 3.2 Gen 1 type of ports, HDMI 2.0, Ethernet, and a 3.5mm headphone jack. Not too shabby. The other big plus here is the weight of the F15, which combines an overall sturdy feel with a very manageable heft of 2 kilograms. As someone who has lugged around heavier gear at conventions before, knowing that I can put this in my bag, throw it over my shoulder, and not instantly shatter my spinal column is a huge relief. For the screen, you're looking at a 15.6-inch panel that has a fairly high pixel density. Images look sharp, and for entertainment purposes, you'll be able to enjoy some rock-solid gaming and multimedia visuals on it. For content creation purposes, you could do better, but if you're planning to create disposable and quick-fire entertainment, then the screen is more than up to the task of handling fast edits with a lower level of color precision. The Dolby Atmos speakers aren't mind-blowing as they juggle an average soundscape with a good range of volume and a significant amount of bass. Let's just say that for on-the-go purposes, they do a decent job, but if you're looking for higher quality audio, you'll want to plug in a decent headset or soundbar. In total, you're looking at a laptop that isn't designed to go toe-to-toe with some of the heavyweights of the scene, but then again, it also costs several thousand rands less than those technical behemoths. The F15 positions itself as a 1080p gaming machine, and on that front, you're getting a consistent effort from the modest hardware. Thanks to NVIDIA DLSS, the F15 can punch above its weight when playing hard-hitting games like Resident Evil 3, Final Fantasy VI Remake, or Marvel's Spider-Man. Although not using that black magic from GeForce, we'll see frame rates plummet. Number 4. MSI Cyborg 15 Gaming Laptop. For you PC players whose eyes are bigger than your wallets, MSI has an answer with a budget gaming laptop called the Cyborg 15, $999 as tested. This notebook isn't going to set any speed records, but it provides playable 1080p gaming and a decent design for the price. It's no gaming Godzilla despite a recent Intel A-series CPU and a latest round NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4050 GPU, but it outruns similarly priced casual laptops. And our December 2021 Editor's Choice Award winner for cheap gaming laptops, MSI's own Katana GF66. The Cyborg 15 falls short of Editor's Choice honors since it fails to outperform some comparably priced models with older GeForce RTX 3060 graphics, but it's well worth a look from economy-minded gamers. The MSI Cyborg 15 starts off on a positive note by blending a spiffy translucent plastic across parts of its chassis, while an aluminum display cover produces a more premium look and feels almost akin to the much more expensive Origin Eon 16s that I tested recently. It's considerably more pleasant than the cheap-feeling all-plastic Katana GF66. MSI went with an angular design that gives the Cyborg 15 the look and feel of a machine as befits its name. Squared-off corners and a raised lip on the display panel enhance this effect. The chassis has a little bend and flex but feels reasonably sturdy. Number 3. Lenovo LOQ 15 RTX 4050. The HP Victus 16 2024 and the Lenovo LOQ 15 2024 are both budget gaming laptops. The HP is better regarding the user experience, meaning it has a sturdier build, a better keyboard, and a more responsive touchpad. The Lenovo will provide smoother gameplay since it's a newer device with more powerful CPUs and GPUs. If you can afford to stretch your budget, it's worth getting the Lenovo as its MSI 40 series GPUs support frame generation, a feature that can dramatically boost performance by inserting AI-generated frames. The Lenovo LOQ 15 2024 is better than the HP Victus 15 2024 for most uses. The Lenovo is available with newer and faster NVIDIA 40 series GPUs that can push higher frame rates. It also has variable refresh rate support to reduce screen tearing, 2 M.2 storage slots. The HP has one, and longer battery life. Lenovo has a QHD display option, while HP only has FHD displays. The Lenovo LOQ 15 2024 is better than the Lenovo IdeaPad Gaming 3 2024 for most uses. The LOQ 15 is available with faster Ryzen CPUs and NVIDIA 40 series GPUs, resulting in much better gaming performance with higher and more consistent frame rates. It has more ports, longer battery life, and variable refresh rate support to reduce screen tearing. Additionally, the LOQ 15 stays cooler and quieter under load and doesn't throttle as much as the IdeaPad Gaming 3. Number 2. Gigabyte G5 KF. This budget gaming notebook from Gigabyte features an Alder Lake processor and an Ada Lovelace GPU. It also has a PCI 4.0 SSD, 512 gigabytes, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and an FHD panel, 144 Hz, but Windows doesn't come pre-installed. One serious drawback, the included charger can sometimes be overloaded by the laptop. The G5 KF is a gaming laptop in the lower price segment. A 15.6-inch device will set you back roughly €969, 1,026 US dollars. The little Windows license isn't included in the price. The Gigabyte laptop is competing with the likes of the MSI Cyborg 15, a 12VF, Intel MUC X15, Lenovo Legion Slim 516 APH8, and Asus TUF F15 FA507. The G5 KF is a follow-up to the G5 KE and shares the same physical design. You can thus refer to our G5 KE review for more information on the chassis, features, input devices, and display. The Gigabyte G5 2023 is a great deal, and that's a little surprising considering the price hike we usually see for brand new gaming laptops. But you'll find no fad features or unnecessary add-ons to push up the costs here. Just a straightforward, well-built, and cleverly provisioned gaming laptop for £1,200 or $1,100 in the US for a similar, if only slightly worse model that delivers plenty of frames and games. Let's start with the star of the show here, the RTX 4060. We're yet to see NVIDIA's RTX 40 series drop to this level on desktop, but even this budget-friendly card delivers superb 1080p performance befitting the G5's 1080 144Hz display. That's partially down to the power Gigabyte's prepared to pump into the GPU inside this machine. 75W. That might not seem like much next to the 175W RTX 4090 laptops we've reviewed this year, but it's 30W more than MSI is ready to run through its own RTX 4060 power gaming laptop, the Cyborg 15. And you can watch the frame rate go up with every extra watt pulsing through the G5's GPU. The Gigabyte G5 is up to 27% faster than the Cyborg 15 in our testing, and the Cyborg 15 even has a better CPU for gaming under the hood. Number 1. Acer Nitro 5 RTX 4050, £729. That's how much this Acer Nitro 5 costs, brand new, from Argos of all places. In today's inflated world, £729 is one of the cheapest gaming laptops on the market, certainly from a more reputable brand anyway, and with a reasonably modern spec. For that, you get an 8-core CPU, RTX GPU, and even a 144Hz display. What's not to like then? Well, a lot. See, it's really easy to mislead people with buzzwords and skewed specs. That 8-core CPU is an i5-12450H, which has 4 full-fat performance cores and 4 low-power efficiency cores. That means that in terms of performance, you have around 5 cores worth of performance despite having 8 cores total. You also only get 8 gigabytes of RAM in this model, which, as you'll find out, really isn't enough for modern AAA games. You also only get 512 gigabytes of SSD space, which can hold like 3 games. Maybe. As for that RTX GPU, it's an RTX 4050 mobile with 6 GB of VRAM and a 140W total graphics power rating, aka the lowest end RTX GPU available. Oh, and that 144Hz display is a real treat too. Despite all that, for the price tag, it's pretty hard to argue this isn't a decent amount of machine for your cash, right? Well, to answer that one, let's take a look at how it performs. Now my results are going to be a bit skewed here because I haven't tested any other RTX 4050 laptops, nor anything else all that close to this price range, so you can expect to see this at the bottom of every chart. But what'll be interesting is seeing how close it gets to the higher-end machines and just what performance it can offer outright. I want to start by just showing you the results I collected for the Nitro 5 on their own. Here they are. You can see we get over 200 FPS in both Rainbow Six Siege on medium and CS2 on low. You get 137 FPS average in Hitman 3, 116 FPS in Shadow of the Tomb Raider, nearly 80 FPS in Cyberpunk on medium, 72 FPS in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and it even ekes out over 60 FPS in Starfield on low. On the face of it, this seems like a great performer, and to a degree, it is. Now let me show you a few comparisons. While CS2 offered more than playable levels of performance, it's nearly a full 100 FPS lower than the next laptop I've tested, likely thanks to a much faster CPU. Cyberpunk 2 is a good 25% down on the next machine up, again likely thanks to the CPU and RAM config primarily. Hitman is by far the most interesting result though, because Hitman's built-in benchmark splits out both the CPU and GPU performance, and I show the GPU side. So these are the GPU-specific results. Even when you isolate the GPU on its own, as best as you can anyway, you still get a significant performance difference, even a 4060 with 8 GB of VRAM. Still, the performance on tap here isn't all that bad, at least for gaming.